minus one-dimensional universe. Today we will talk about the minus one-dimensional universe. The dimensionality of this universe is minus one. It is a void universe, its existence conveyed in myth as something prior to life, as an unrevealed existence. The void universe is not so much described as implied by cosmic entities about which nothing definite can be said. They are the all-generating and all-consuming darkness, the abyss, the primordial chaos. Under different names they are present in the mythologies of different peoples. And they seem to swim in unknown dark waters of otherness. In the Assyro-Babylonian poem about the creation of the world, Enuma Elish, darkness bears the name of the mother Tiamat, and the primordial chaos is called the firstborn all-creator Apsu. In the Scandinavian epic Elder Edda, it is reported that when there was nothing yet, neither earth nor sky, then there was a cold dwelling of darkness, Niflheim, and magical abyss Ginnungagap. Later the serpent Nidhogg, the guardian of the lower level of the universe, is found here. He is busy gnawing the roots of the sacred world tree Yggdrasil. In Indian mythology too one can find a similar serpent, the giant multi-headed Shishu, who commands the subterranean half-human half-snakes Naga. Indian mythology informs about the creation of the world. In the beginning there was nothing. There was neither sun, nor moon, nor stars, nor motion, nor light. Only darkness and chaos. The world rested as if in a deep sleep. In Slavic mythology chthonic creatures include three-headed fire-breathing serpent Goranik and the inhabitant of deep caves Kashi immortal. Numerous inhabitants of the chthonic world in Greek mythology. The darkest part of this world, Tartarus, is the realm of horror, the abode of snake-like monsters, the center of the minus-dimensional universe. Its only role is total opposition to life. The counterpart of the ancient Greek primordial chaos is the ancient Chinese Hung Dun. He was already there when there was still neither heaven nor earth, and formless images wandered in pitch blackness. Primordial chaos is not yet life, and must be distinguished from later chaos as a measure of disorder and destruction of already created life. The children of primordial chaos and darkness are all the chthonic creatures of world folklore: chimeras, serpents, dragons that devour the moon, sun, stars, and anything else. All chthonic beings are characterized by an irrepressible craving for total overpowering of being. At the same time, it is important to realize that all these monsters did not fall away from the good. They lived in those times when there was neither good, nor evil, nor life itself. Later, when the inhabitants of the next, zero-dimensional universe began to fight them, they could not be killed, as there was neither death nor life for them. They could be imprisoned somewhere at the edge of the world in a deep dungeon. The highest ethical value of minus-dimensionality, if such a concept is generally applicable to emptiness, is emptiness itself, i.e. the non-appearance of being, its non-existence, unrecognizability, unnamedness. That is why later chthonic beings like to play riddles with random encounters, i.e. to take away their names from the objects of being, and even under the condition, if you do not guess, I will eat you. Such, for example, is the mythological Sphinx. Human life at the time of the dominance of void mythology, in all probability, was as weakly structured as the mythology of that time, and represented the life of a pack. As a community of ancient people, the pack was characterized by instability of numbers and composition. Unnamed objects of being in that mythology suggest that human speech and thinking had not yet been fully formed. The formation of human communities on the basis of a single language has not yet begun. Traces of the void universe are often reconstructed retrospectively, in those cultural regions where traditions of concentrated contemplation of the fundamentals of being are developed. In Chinese culture such a trace is the concept of Tao, in Indian culture it is Brahman. In the Vedas, the hymn Song of Creation speaks of the void universe. There was then neither non-existence nor existence. There was no kingdom of air nor heaven above it. There was then neither death nor that which lives forever. No sign that separated night and day. This one breathless thing breathed only its own essence. Its own essence. Beyond it there was nothing at all. There was darkness. Hidden at first in the darkness all that was. Formless chaos. All that existed then was empty and formless. According to the ideas of the void universe, not only did it lack any material substances, but also such categories of the universe as space and time. In the treatise De Adeging it is said about Tao, it is infinite and cannot be named, I meet it and do not see its face, I do not know whose generation it is, it precedes the heavenly Lord. The Tao preceded all existence, time, space, primordial chaos. Tao was as if some invisible image, laid in the basis of the foundations of the universe. All future forms, which were destined to be born, were already contained in it. Such description of Tao practically one-to-one coincides with the modern scientific description of vacuum-dispersed states and unmanifested states of quantum system. So also in the Indian Vedantic tradition it is believed, from the point of view of higher knowledge, that there is no other reality than the one and eternal Brahman, with which nothing happens or has happened. Brahman is the source of the illusorily appearing universe, whose manifold properties are only superimposed upon it. In the developed traditions of contemplation of the essence of the universe, the non-appearance of being regains significance and value. And in early mythological times the nothingness of the void universe pressed on man with a feeling of dumbness when he could not separate from nothingness and say about it that it was nothingness. It is characteristic that in ancient China there was no conception of the original correlation of the Tao and the Word. The Chinese poet of the 2nd century AD Lu Ji wrote about it in his Ode to the Fine Word. I now penetrate into the void and into the lifeless zero to demand being there. I knock also into the stillness of darkness, I want it to sound. In modern life, every person in one way or another encounters the experience of emptiness. Dr. Silvio Fanti's micropsychoanalysis studies convincingly demonstrate this. His patients of venerable age, immersed in a state between life and death, spoke of a feeling of emptiness. Only by confronting nothingness with the fact of thinking being any intelligible sound, in the beginning was the Word, a person becomes a being of another, zero-dimensional dimension. In this act of creation of the Word, the minus-dimensional universe, turning inside out, emanates from itself the entire phenomenal world, its new dimensionality and new ethical values. We will continue the story by describing the null-dimensional mythological universe.